What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Tiger T. I'm Tyler, and checking out something new again. We got the odd ones out. Conspiracy theories and crazy people. Yeah, conspiracy theory is always fun to kind of dig through, and sometimes the people who hardcore believe in them are interesting to kind of look into as well, which is where the crazy people part of the video I'm sure comes from. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the odd ones out, and let us get into it.
Way, you would spend your entire 5 to 6 hour work shift with only one other person. And you didn't get to pick that peculiar partner you were spending your precious period with. So that meant I was stuck with some crazy character. And one of those characters was really,
you do not get to
really
choose your
into that new age
coworkers.
snorting healing crystals kind of stuff. And he would specifically talk to me about it because I was the only other person there, and all we could do for fun was watching bread rise. Since I was contractually obligated to stay, I would just listen to him ramble about how he thought the universe worked. He told me about chakras and how easy it was to open your third eye through LSD. He told me
Dude,
about
hell yeah, dude.
scrying using black mirrors and that it's a common misconception that you can get stuck in the mirror, but that's just a myth. That doesn't actually happen.
Is it a
which
common
good
misconception?
thing,
I feel like I've
getting stuck in
never
the
heard
mirror
that
is
before.
something I'm constantly worried about as
Yeah.
an adult. Oh, and he
Constantly
told me
worried
that
about
every
it.
illness is in your head and that hospitals can already cure anything, but they're not going to because if they cure you, they're going to lose a customer. So he's just going to stick to his essential oils and non-vaccinated immune system. Thank you very much.
I mean, I never pause reactions, but I mean, that doesn't make any sense because like, okay, so yes, I agree with the idea in a vacuum that if hospitals cured you, then they lose. Like, I get what he's saying there because it's the same. It's the same line of logic of like, oh, with mechanics, right? Where like mechanics they're like, oh, most people have no idea what they're talking about with cars. They don't even know they're on cars. So it's like, I'm just going to tell this customer that this thing needs to be fixed or this thing needs to be replaced or the last person did your oil change wrong. So here, I'm going to do it for you, but you got to pay me, obviously, right? It's that same idea. So I understand the idea, but like, I feel like a hospital is such a tricky place to to like apply that ideology to be like, hey man, if we actually cure this person's illness, they're never gonna come back because they'll be squeaky clean bill of health. Like that's a little too much. You know what I mean? And then also like they can cure any illness, but they won't. Or like how like healing or like how illnesses are fake and how these crystals can cure anything. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I do think there is probably some benefits to looking into non-Western medicine in some scenarios. But I don't know.
Listen, you can believe whatever you want to believe, as long as it's not hurting yourself or others, okay?
Agree.
But denying modern medicine? No.
Just straight up denying it is crazy.
No, you can't do that. No. Since there were still 4 hours of the workday left
420.
and I didn't want to argue with him, I would just respond with, he didn't do crack
Yeah, man.
or meth or any hard drugs that I know of.
Rock
that would alter
candy.
his perception
Dude, I
of
remember rock
reality.
candy
Even though he
and
didn't
being like,
trust
oh, this is
hospitals or
incredible.
doctors, he
And then
really
getting it for the
believed in
first time and being
benefits
like,
of
this kind of
medical
sucks.
marijuana. If you're ever wondering what kind of person is making your sandwiches, yes, they did give this guy a license to touch your food. Whoa, dude.
That's why I hate
My
Subway.
sandwich tastes like colors.
Subway is
I
like
learned
by
something
far
about
the
myself that
worst
day,
sub
and that
shop
is,
in
I'm
existence.
obsessed with crazy people.
And yet there's
Even
more
though I didn't
Subways in
believe a
America than
word he
McDonald's.
said,
That's
I
crazy.
would still ask him questions just
Dude,
to
look
get
at
him
that
talking.
Espeon in the
Wait,
background.
so you're telling me that everything in Naruto is real? Something about talking to him and hearing his perspective was fascinating. This human that I share a planet with exists. What is
It is
a
interesting,
crazy
yeah.
person? A crazy person is not someone who has a weird hobby or owns a pet snake.
Nah.
A crazy person is someone who, despite having an astronomical amount of evidence pointing to one idea, believes in the latter. I'm not a psychologist, and maybe I should have consulted one before making this video, But I think crazy people have an unhealthy amount of unchecked distrust and paranoia. I don't know where to even begin talking to crazy people. Their worldview is just so much different than mine. A crazy person will think that someone who has no reason to is lying. NASA's lying about the moon landing. I don't trust NASA. Hospitals are lying about medicine. I don't trust doctors. The government's lying about
Everything.
well, a lot of things. They're lizard people. Okay, that one might be
Okay.
true. Thankfully, I don't personally know any crazy people. Well, okay, some of my friends are into astrology, but they still get vaccinated, so, you know, you win some,
It
you
evens
lose.
out.
However, on the internet, there's an overwhelming abundance of crazy people. I'm guessing crazy people don't go outside because they think the government will target them with directed energy weapons or something. Yeah,
Dude,
only
that'd be cool.
crazy people stay inside wasting hours of their life behind computer screens. One of my guilty pleasures is that while I'm working, I will listen to crazy people talk for hours. It's weirdly my version of ASMR. I've tried listening to podcasts and audiobooks or anything
Warriors.
that's good for my brain, but there's something so fascinating about listening to a 50-year-old genuinely tell you about his alien abduction. And it only has 300 views? This man was contacted by aliens, people. Why isn't he on the cover of Time magazine? YouTube will teach you everything you need to know about aliens. Did you know that aliens traveled millions of light years to build pyramids, stomp on our corn, and abduct a couple of crackpots? There's videos of people who will tell you in full confidence about the gray and praying mantis aliens living among us. I mean, the videos barely have any views, but they exist. Most of the views are from me. Okay, all of them. I don't understand how people think the moon landing was faked. There is so much evidence proving that the moon isn't even real. Wake up, sheeple! I gotta be honest, I don't think flat earthers are real. I think they're all just a bunch of trolls trying to get people like me to hate humanity.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
no
an interesting
rocket scientist,
concept.
but I know that our understanding of space and gravity is so beyond what shape the Earth is. I'm amazed.
Yeah, it's
how
like
much
we've
free
already
information
gone
is
past this.
available
Why
to
are we
people,
regressing?
But they still choose not to believe it. So I'm sorry, I just can't accept that flat earthers are real. I mean, I have nothing to back up this idea, though. I guess it's just a crazy theory of mine. Wait, here's a lighthearted conspiracy for you. Some people think that the creators of the Sonic movie purposely made the design of Sonic
Yeah,
bad
I
in the
remember hearing
first
that one.
trailers as
Yeah.
a marketing ploy. Everyone was outraged about the bad designs and ended up talking about it, giving the movie free promotion. Meanwhile, the executives were planning to use the better designed Sonic all along. The evidence for this is, well, I'm talking about the Sonic movie right now, so I'm contributing to the theory that this was all for publicity. Another piece of evidence is, look at this.
It
What is
sucks.
this?
It's
There's
terrible.
no way that any executive or anyone with two eyeballs would okay this ever. And honestly, I might have believed this conspiracy theory if this movie didn't exist. If it wasn't for the Cats movie, I would have thought Hollywood knew what they were doing too. But because it's current year and these types of things can still get past test screenings, I think sometimes Hollywood is just
They're just
no
wrong.
good. I
Yeah.
could be totally wrong though.
See, but the thing that doesn't make sense to me about the Sonic thing, because that one definitely hit my radar. I get why people would say that and say, "Oh, they did it on purpose," right? The thing that doesn't make that true for me is because people animated that. Like people made that. Like again, the trailers were out, maybe the full movie wasn't done, but like a large portion of that movie had to be done. Unless you're saying that just the trailers had the bad Sonic and the movie that they were actually working on had the good Sonic. I don't know, man. It's tough to believe because it's easy for me to believe the other side where Hollywood just gets it wrong. Like there's so many times where they do, and you'd be like, oh, how can an executive? It's like they don't care. It's Sonic. Like we're gonna make a Sonic movie. It's gonna sell, you know. And think of all the other terrible movies that come out all the time, and yet they still make $1 billion. You know what I mean? So I totally believe that ugly Sonic was the Sonic. You know what I mean? The only thing that I don't like about it is that animators and people, people adjacent to animators, they had to make Ugly Sonic. They probably put a lot of time and energy making that, whether they wanted to or not. It was their job, so they made it. And then if we go with the line that they didn't, right? That they didn't plan to remake Sonic. It's like the animators then had to do so much extra work, and it's like I guarantee you, the way animators are treated in the industry, I guarantee you they were like rushed, they were crunched, you know what I mean? Like they did not get paid extra for this work. Like, so that's why that conspiracy always rubbed me the wrong way, because it's like it doesn't make sense if it's true, because of all the extra work that would have to go into it. Like, if that was true, that would be like a 1,000 IQ play to be like, hey, we're gonna put out terrible trailers, and then people are gonna talk about it and then riot to make it good, and then the good thing we were making all along is gonna get praise. I don't think that's true. I mean, and also it's like Sonic 2 did even better than Sonic 1, and Sonic 2 didn't need any of that. It was just the story. You know, it was just what we wanted. So I don't know. I never really enjoyed that conspiracy. I never really liked that one, you know. But maybe. I mean, like, there are some clever ideas. You know, like I'm a big MCU fan, and I do really like when with the Avengers movies, especially like Avengers Infinity War, and they did it with Endgame too, but Infinity War was a really good example of it, where the trailers just had lies. Like, there was just lies in the trailer about like certain characters being in certain places. You know what I mean? About how many stones Thanos had at certain points in the movie, which are just lies. Which was, in my opinion, a great way to sell a trailer. That method can't work for every movie, because people watch trailers to know what the movie's about. But for something like Infinity War, where it's like, you don't need to know what this movie's about. You know. It's been building up for 10 years. You know? So like, we can have things in there that, you know, because that, you know, that's what MCU fans do. They like go frame by frame with every Marvel trailer to like pick things out, you know. So they were like, we're gonna mess with them. So there are some clever things in Hollywood like that, but I don't know. The whole Sonic conspiracy never, and it never really jived with me. I don't know.
Anyone watching worked on this movie and wants to be a whistleblower? Let me know in the comments. Another rabbit hole I fell down was discovering a group of people called targeted individuals. Targeted individuals are a group of people that think the government is sending NSA agents to harass them. And this isn't just the American government. It turns out that every government in the world is harassing random citizens. They claim that they're being harassed because the government is trying to silence them for speaking the truth, when in reality, they're not speaking anything remotely true. A targeted individual will say things like, people keep following me. There's a white van that's been parked in front of my house for hours. The government's been using electromagnetic radiation to transmit sounds and thoughts into my head. And the whole time I'm watching these people, I'm thinking, yo, that sounds like schizophrenia, my dude. I don't know your life. Maybe you just got out of a really bad cult and you do have stalkers following you. Okay, yes, that happens. But it's not the government. One targeted individual I saw said that the government attacked them with a directed energy weapon, and that they've been having migraines and coughing up blood. And I'm just flabbersmacked that someone actually believes this. How do you tell them, yo, the government's not harassing you? You probably have something going on in your digestive
You
system.
should go to a
You need
doctor.
to see a doctor and a psychiatrist. And it's easy to point and laugh and make fun of these people, but after hearing their stories, I just feel bad for them.
Yeah, you just kind of feel
They're going
bad.
through some major mental stuff, and I think they just need a friend to talk to. Most conspiracies can be disproven with a little bit of research, so it's important to think critically and not immediately believe everything you hear online. And if there's not enough data
Giraffes
to
aren't
make
real.
a judgment, then it's okay to say, I don't know, or I need to look into this further before making a conclusion. Viral misinformation punishes everybody, so it's important to do research, tests, and evaluations to form a concrete judgment before you hit that retweet button. There is one conspiracy theory, I believe, and that is that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill...
No.
Are there any conspiracy theories that you believe in? Feel free to rethink your life choices. What did I just say? If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, then you know that I'm unfortunately postponing most of my book tour until further notice. I'm still planning on going to Medford, Massachusetts, Springfield, Pennsylvania, and BookCon in New York City at the end of May. If you bought a ticket to an event, then you'll have to call the bookstore to get a refund or have them honor the old ticket when we reschedule. Keep in mind that these booksellers are dealing with a lot right now, so please give them a few days to sort this all out. I'll be posting updates of the situation on my Twitter and Instagram, so be on the lookout for anything new. And with that, I want to announce that I'm going on another tour called... I want to say thanks to my amazing team who worked on this video. Be sure to wash your hands and wear your seatbelt. At my Subway,
Yeah, so that was cool. I mean, yeah, that hits on a lot of good points about conspiracy theories, and like for me, conspiracy theories have always been fun. You know what I mean? Like they've been fun to look into, and I feel like that's kind of what he was saying as well, where it's like it's entertaining to like look into conspiracy theories and listen to people who truly believe them. And I do really like the point he made where he was like, dude, as long as it's not hurting me or others or yourself, like you can believe whatever. Like it doesn't matter. You know? Like who cares, right? But like, you know, like just rejecting medicine and being like, I am never putting medicine in my body. It's like, I'm not going to the doctor for my broken arm. It's like, I mean, I guess that's your choice, but like it's not going to end well for you, you know? Like I think the most dangerous things is if you're going to hurt yourself, don't. But it's worse when you hurt others because then you're spreading it around. You know, I think that's the big thing with like anti-vax stuff where I don't know how much we should get into it, but like stuff works. You know what I mean? Like there are a lot of different conspiracies that I've looked into, very very surface level. I'm not gonna lie. Where like I totally understand some people's point of view, especially the points that people make when it comes to the racial inequality in regards to medicine. That stuff I think does have some salient points, but I think overall, for you to just say all vaccines are bad, it's like, monkeypox is coming back around, my friends. And it is not because we were taking vaccines. It's because people are not taking vaccines. So anyway, but yeah, this was cool. I like this kind of style. I think I'm definitely gonna check more odd ones out where it is more of like, you know, because this is like a whole side of YouTube where like people do these like almost like vlog story time things, but they're also animators, so they do fun like cartoons over it, you know. So I think we'll check out more odd ones out, maybe more other YouTubers that have this style as well. This is cool. This is cool getting into like a specific topic. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you think of conspiracy theories, crazy people, all that stuff. You know, they're all lizard people. That's good. There's a joke about that in Inside Job, I think, right? It was a Netflix show. You should go check it out. Also animated, very fun. Made by or created by the same person that created Gravity Falls. So you know it's good. I think a season 2 is confirmed. So, but yeah, awesome, love it. Definitely gonna check out more odd ones out. That was good. But yeah, let me know what other stuff, other animation stuff you want me to check out. And until next time, make sure to watch more cartoons.